Please get comfortable and take a cup of tea or whiskey. Today we're going to talk about ArangoDB. It is a database. Have you ever heard of it? I had not until yesterday, but I came across a brilliant article from these database developers. Let me tell in a few words about the database itself and about their article. ArangoDB is, as they say, native multimodal database. It means that it combines actually three database types in one. It can work as a key value store like Redis, or document-oriented database like MongoDB, or graph-oriented database like Neo4j, and it all wrapped in a SQL-like query language. They name it Arango query language. Brilliant. Or you also can use a JavaScript wrapper. They even have some kind of JavaScript framework on top of this database to help you work with multiple databases in a microservice architecture setup. ArangoDB itself is written in C++, and as any other NoSQL solution, one of its goals is the ability to be well scalable. So in addition to the plain single node mode, they have cluster mode as well. Their idea is to be competitive with all these three database types on their fields. And it not only sounds cool and impressive, but also looks great in their benchmarks. Furthermore, they have a nice set of features. They have proper support of secondary indexes. You can use joins to concatenate different collections. For clusters, they have automatic failovers and multi-master support. Also, you may use synchronous or asynchronous replication, and they are more oriented towards internal consistency rather than high availability. By the way, in typical architecture, when you use multiple master setup plus have some secondaries used for read requests, you most likely will have synchronous replication among masters and asynchronous with eventual consistency for secondaries. The database itself looks quite mature. It has version 3.3, which for me tells that it's like a third stable release. They have about 5,000 stars on GitHub and currently 300 open issues and already 2,300 closed. So it looks really alive for me. And speaking about internals, they use RocksDB. It's a key value store written by Facebook, which is also written in C++. It uses log-structured architecture, and it's used by companies like LinkedIn, Yahoo, and you won't believe, Facebook. One more thing to notice is that this store is initially a fork from LevelDB, which had been written by Google. Also nice to know that RocksDB can optionally be used in MongoDB or MySQL as a storage engine. Okay, going back to ArangoDB. In their article, they compare a few different databases. They compare MongoDB, PostgreSQL with tabular data, the normal relational style, Postgres with JSON fields, OrientDB, and Neo4j. And as you may notice, all these databases has different purpose and different data structure. And they also compare it with ArangoDB. They don't try to find a test where one size fits all, so they really touches different strengths of each database. They tried single read, single write with acknowledgement. For graph database, they tried finding nearest neighbor, finding nearest neighbor's neighbor with data, and shortest path. Also, they tried aggregation function, and they measured memory consumption. And it's a huge surprise for me that they really rocks by the performance. Probably because of RocksDB engine, probably because of something else. But I really encourage you to take a look on these graphs. The only real competitor by timings, at least following these benchmarks, is PostgreSQL with tabular data, and even not on the every test. The only real disadvantage in all these tests is memory usage, which should not be a big deal in most cases, and I really believe that they will continue working on it. As I said, I never used this database, but it looks very promising, at least on the stage where you're just comparing performance. There can be much more underwater stones, and database, it's not only about performance. Unfortunately, we all remember issues MongoDB had about 5-7 years ago when they were losing data. And still, even now, a lot of people are afraid of using MongoDB because of that past issues. I would really like to give it a try, at least on the stage when you just start a product and you're not sure about which data model your product, your data will fit to. For example, in my team, we currently have no SQL solution, but after some long time of development, we realized that probably a relational model will fit somehow better. Once we even considered moving to graph-oriented database, but then rejected this idea because of lack of use cases for graph structures. So theoretically, having multi-model database can help you pivoting much easier in this startup. By the way, I'm afraid that it can be a jack of all trades, master of none. And if any of you had an opportunity to try this database in production, I would really appreciate if you can share this experience in the comments above. Anyway, as I say, this database looks really promising and I would like to test it on some of my next pet projects. Thank you folks, see you soon, have all the best.